So I wanted to kind of bring Feng Shui into business environment because, again, if you have happy employees who feel good in the environment, they feel good in themselves, they're going to give great service, right? That's just as simple as that.
Welcome to Winning with Feng Shui. Join me, Candace, a certified Feng Shui practitioner, for a chat with Feng Shui experts from every walk of life. They'll share their inspirational stories of helping themselves and their clients achieve winning results and success using Feng Shui. Hey guys, welcome to Winning with Feng Shui. Today I have a very special guest on, Claire Bosq-Scott. So Claire specializes in mystery shopping and the customer service with a Feng Shui twist. Claire lives to inspire businesses to thrive by delivering exceptional customer service experiences. Number 3 top global customer service guru and UK top 20 CX influencer with 3 decades of expertise. Claire, aka the Busy Queen Bee, is the authority in customer service industry. She brings a more holistic and comprehensive approach to employee and customer service experience with her Business Feng Shui program, enhancing environments to increase employee performance and customer loyalty. She's a keynote speaker, consultant, and trainer with a penchant for retail and hospitality, and the author of 3 books, Thrive with the Hive, Thriving by Caring, and the #1 Amazon bestseller and hot new release, The Secret Diary of a Mystery Shopper. That sounds so cool. Her online L&D platform, BQB CX Institute, offers a wide range of online and on-site training and has developed her Caring Service Culture Leadership Program, a game changer for any organization who wants to become truly customer-centric. That's an amazing, amazing bio. I, for one, actually didn't know that you were the author of 3 books. So the Diary of a Mystery Shopper sounds so fun.
Well, with everything that happened last year, in the summer, I thought, well, I've got nothing else to do. I may as well write another book, right?
Yes, just pop a book out. And so you specialize in Feng Shui for businesses. And so tell a little bit how you got started into doing that.
The journey was, I've been working in hospitality all my life. And about 12 years ago, I was working in hotels and I was getting divorced and my children were little. They were only 6 and 10. And I was just working crazy hours. I had an au pair at home looking after the kids, and it was just like something's going to have to give. And I knew it was going to be my health. I knew it was going to be me who was going to just go down. So I decided to drop everything, resign from the job, get divorced, sell the house, and then set up my own business. And at the time, I'd realized that on my little island of Jersey, we didn't have any mystery shopping companies. So we had to bring people from the UK, fly them over to do mystery shopping and measuring the customer service in people's businesses. So I took that kind of leap of faith, and a few months later, I met a celebrity, and she was talking to me about Feng Shui, and I thought, oh, that seems really interesting. I'm just gonna, if she likes it, I'm gonna like it, And I picked up a few books, and I wasn't really keen, and then I picked up one book, and then that was it. It just triggered the whole thing, and I just became obsessed by it. And suddenly everything starts moving forward. And I had a phone call for mystery shopping, and suddenly I had, that phone call got me to 3 different islands, and just by moving my desk and looking around and feeling that I had things coming to me, and just all those very simple things that now you think, whoa, this is just really cool. But it was always something I did for myself, or I advised my friends and family, and I've never really brought it into the business environment. I always thought that if I bring it, I talk about it and I'll call it environment psychology, and let's have a look at how can we enhance the experience of your customers by enhancing the environment. Really never kind of using the word Feng Shui, right? Back early this year, I was in a mastermind group, and there was an intuition lady, and she said to me, she picked on me, she said, Claire, I need to speak to you. I need to say something to you. And I just went, what's that? And she said, well, things aren't going quite right for you, Claire, because you're not on the right path. And I just went, what? And she said, you have got a passion in yourself. It's it's something that people need. It's more holistic. And you think that people are gonna just, disregard you because of it, but people need it. Now is the time for you to really come out with that passion. I just stayed, I was just, I couldn't believe that just happened. And I knew exactly what she was talking about. And of course it was the Feng Shui, and I just had to, so I wanted to kind of bring the Feng Shui into business environment, because again, if you have happy employees who feel good in the environment, they feel good in themselves, they're going to give great service, right? That's just as simple as that. Yes. Isn't it? And so it's taken me quite a few months now to put a new kind of method together, which is called Business Shui, so business Feng Shui, of course, and it includes the part of the physical environment and the Feng Shui, the decluttering, the assessing, looking at what's going on in your environment, but a part also of the personal and that inner energy, and how our energy inside can have blocks and things like that. And then if we work from the outside and inside, well, that customer experience is going to be amazing, right?
100%. It always comes back to that personal energy. If you're in a negative mindset, or if you're in a negative spiral, if you're feeling bad, that has to be addressed too, because we can apply all the feng shui, to all our whole home. And I've learned this personally too, that we can apply it, but it's not going to make a difference if our mindset also is negative. It's almost like a self-defeating, it doesn't give the universe a chance to work, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this again, this is, when even like you said, you are, Feng Shui practitioners, where we are in that. Sometimes we don't realize. And again, last year, yes, I was putting cures in my, prosperity, in my fame corner. Okay, this may have worked with the book, got to #1 on Amazon, but I had no clients was coming back, and I was just like, what is going on? What's blocked? And I felt really frustrated, because I felt that, whatever I was doing wasn't working. And it wasn't, because in actual fact, it was me who was blocked. And as soon as I started working with Feng Shui and actually working with people and doing the Feng Shui, it was magic again.
Yeah, I actually love that you started doing it and not telling people. I think that's amazing.
Right. But now actually, I feel like I need to say it.
Yes.
Because I really feel that there's that, this is it, you
People
need to use principles. Exactly. People have had so much going on in their life. They're looking for alternatives. And it's not, it's not a cult. It's not, a new religion. It's not, they're just principles. They're just things that are going to make you feel good, so why not using them? And that's, I have got, several times as a, is that a new religion or something? And you're like, no, it's nothing to do with that, and again, the different schools, it's all the different interpretation of those principles. So somebody's interpreted this way, somebody's interpreted that way. And again, when I started putting Be Stewie together, I was feeling maybe I shouldn't be bringing all those different modalities together, because that's not right. It's not kind of it's not the I don't know, what am I doing? And then the more we talked, we all kind of got to know each other, and we did some clubhouse together, and I realized that everybody else had other modalities. So I do NLP technique, I do an emotional intelligence, I do resilience, mindfulness, those kind of things. And everybody else had a bit of Reiki, a bit of psychology, and so it's actually bringing all those experience that you have in yourself, so you can share with others. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? To make it so good that people will really kind of make a change in their life.
Yes, for sure. And that's one thing that I'm so excited to showcase through this series of interviews is the different modalities people use. I've met some of the coolest people. I'm so excited to publish all these and get them all edited and everything, because man, I've really met such interesting people that incorporate all kinds of different things
Mm.
into their function. Yeah.
And we all learn from each other as well. I mean, I found that was just amazing. Every time I have a conversation with somebody, I learn something new, and I was, oh, I've never heard of that one. Oh,
Mhm.
you make a note, or you're learning something every day because all of those interpretation and all of those things come together, and that's really the beauty of it. You're always forever learning, and that means that you can change and you can move, and that's what the energy is all about. It's forever changing and moving.
Yes, yeah.
Mm.
It's very interesting. And I don't I've seen some schools of feng shui that are very, I don't want to, disparage anyone, but they're very rigid in their beliefs of like, no, that's not true because, this master back in the day said, this or whatever, or this text says this. But when you start practicing and you start learning for yourself, so there's also another saying, it says in feng shui that um, a good, feng shui student knows all the rules, but a master knows when to break the rules. So
Right.
there's those times where you're like, well, this is not part of what I learned, but it works,
With the clients as well, all clients are different as well, because we're aligning the energy with their own energy. So something that could work fabulously with somebody may not work at all with that other person, and you're like, why is that? Because they're not in the same flow, they're not in the same
Mhm.
space at that moment in time. So it really is about that alignment from the material and the space, but their own energy as well with the
Mhm.
energy of their own space. And that's why it's so different all the time, and that's why you can look at different things, and it will help different ways. You may have some main principles, but there's little things that you add here, there, and there, depending on the clients, which is it's what I love doing.
Yes, for sure. It's
Yeah.
fun to see the different results. So speaking
Yeah.
of results, this podcast or this, this recording, these interviews are definitely focusing on results. And so I wanted to, have you tell a story or of a time that maybe you yourself have no, were able to apply feng shui and get really good results, or to yourself or to a client. So I know you talked a little bit about using it to help boost you in the Amazon store with your book. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've used the feng shui in my own home, and learning and moving, and I have a bit of a thing really. Every kind of spring and every kind of autumn, I go into the change mode around the solstice time, and I just need to
Mhm.
give it a good spring cleaning, or I just need, and so I put Celine Dion on the whole concert in Las Vegas, and I just go for it. And the kids
Awesome.
the kids are like, oh, Celine Dion's on. She's mom's on the move. So I do a good couple of days, a good, kind of, and also because I've got in my living room, I've got a fireplace as well. So I like in the winter to be able to see the fireplace, but the position of the fireplace and the position of the sofa doesn't quite work. So I've made a compromise. We'll compromise the sofa for one position in the winter, and I move it on the other side. And every time it just changed and shift the whole energy. And you walk in and it's like, oh, what have you done with the place? It suddenly just makes it really, really different. And actually, just after I kind of decided to bring the feng shui out there, to really start doing it, I had a friend of mine, and I talked about feng shui and I talked about this, and I could hear her not being in the right place at this moment in time, and I messaged her and said, look, I don't want to bring impose feng shui on you, but perhaps we could have, you know, a little chat and a little conversation together. And so again, it was one of those times where perhaps I was still questioning my ability to do it, you know, through the virtual kind of feelings. And you know, and so we looked. She was, you know, in bedroom, and she worked in that same room, so she had an office space and all that kind of things. And one of the final things we did, we moved this and that, and one of the final things we did was like, top left hand side. So you know, when you look at the bagua as a, you know, the BTB, the bagua, you start from the front door, and then you're looking at the 9 areas. So top left hand side, which is your southeast area, um, this will be your prosperity corner. And there she had a big flip chart there, and she's a trainer. I said, you know, that's fine. You know, I can't move it anywhere else. I said, no, that's fine. Leave it here. All I want you to do is put, when you're not using it, put an amazing picture who reminds you of prosperity. And, you know, something that, oh, when you're looking at it, it just really kind of resonate with that money and prosperity. And so a few hours later, she went on and she was just like a possessed woman. Moving everything. She sent me some photos. She sent me the photo of that flip chart, and what she did, printed some dollars, and so she posted all those dollars on a flip chart and put in the middle, I love money, money loves me. And I said to her, wow, this is just amazing, absolutely perfect. This is really, really cool. I'm so proud of you. We put the phone down. 4 hours later, she messaged me. She said, Claire, you will not believe what just happened. And I'm like, oh, what just happened? I've just come off the phone of my father-in-law, and he's just gifted us a huge amount of money to help us through the last few months. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm like, I've never seen it working so fast. This was just
Yeah.
amazing. And you know, it was such a boost to really kind of realize that, you know, I was doing the right thing as well. And you know, so it was great. She was just so grateful and all that kind of things, and I was just like all on top of the moon. And you think it's something so simple, but again, you don't know what you don't know. So having somebody to come in and actually pick up on those little details that could make a huge difference is very powerful, isn't it?
Love that she got that right away. Sometimes it works right away. It's really amazing. I've seen some amazing things
Yeah,
happen.
you know, and also, I mean, I'll come back to the business side of it, because we've, you know, suddenly everybody's had to work from home. I mean,
Hmm.
I've been working from home for 12 years, so it hasn't changed anything. The way, you know, my desk was there, you know, you know, nothing's changed in that point of view. Um, but a lot of people don't know how to work from home, and they're not ready. They work from a kitchen table or the side of their bed sometimes. And you know,
Hmm.
being able to show them some routines and some little habits that they can start doing, so they can claim that space between their work and their office. And for an organization, they have a duty of care.
Hmm.
They actually have a responsibility for their employees' well-being. And you know, this, you know, you see a lot of, you know, companies are, we're doing this well-being strategies, and but it's not, maybe, you
Hmm.
know, it's not as much as what it could be. And you know, some very important things like the environment are not being looked at, and then the employees aren't feeling right, they're not performing, they're procrastinating, they're stressed and anxious. And all those are, you and I know, they're, you know, related to, you know, what's going on outside. So you know, from the environment's point of view. So as an organization, we are entering a new era where they really have to take responsibility for the environment, their people, and their customers, for
Yes, yeah,
sure.
I
Yeah.
agree. And that definitely presents a problem, I think, when people are working from home because then they have no control over that. it's probably impossible to check up on all their employees to make sure their mental health is good and everything. So
Mhm.
definitely it's I know I have my dedicated office here at my home because I work from home and I've worked from home. But for somebody who's had to make that transition, it can definitely be challenging and even depressing, and so for sure that all relates to the environment. And so applying feng shui, really believe is really, really important for any business, but definitely, especially if you're working from home, because like you said,
Mm.
sometimes people just kind of set up anywhere and they don't have a dedicated space and it might not be conductive, to their productivity. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many, just those simple things. I was doing a presentation with a group of ladies, and actually, I was talking about the commanding position. Where you have your
Yes.
desk and you move your desk, so you actually have a wall in the back protects you, and you can see what's going on around you. So you can see, you can be inspired. You can see anybody who's coming through the door, so they don't kill you. That kind of
Yeah.
commanding
Yeah.
position. And that lady said, "Well, I can't because this is my bedroom. I can't really turn it, because then I'm not going to be able to do this and that." But she had the door in the back, completely back,
Hmm.
and she was facing the wall, completely facing the wall. And so we finished the presentation. She sent me a message and she said, "Claire, this is just incredible. I mean, it's taking me a couple of hours to move everything, but
Hmm.
I moved the desk the way you suggested it. And suddenly, even my husband and the kids walked into the bedroom and
Hmm.
they say how much different it looked and how much, that's changed. And I feel so much better myself just having done it." And I was like, yes, this is it. You
Yeah, and just having that better flow and the better layout, because even with classical feng shui, the forms, which are, the commanding position, the way your space is laid out, all about the way you're receiving that energy. And so that's one of the easiest things people can do is just rearrange your space according to those feng shui principles and see how it
when
feels.
I talk about, your customers and how do your customer feels, when they're walking through the
Hmm.
shops, you're walking through somewhere and then you just go, you don't know why, your subconscious don't like it. There's something in
Hmm.
there. You're just going to pick up the whatever you need and then you're going to get out again, right? Whereas you're walking somewhere, oh, it's beautiful, you've got music, it smells nice,
Hmm.
and for me, kind of using the five senses is really, really key in changing and moving that energy, because it's a direct connection to our subconscious, right, and our
Yes.
emotional drivers. So if you can use your five senses and really kind of inspire people or get people to really connect with their eyes and their ears and taste, smell. I mean, I absolutely love smell. I've created my own perfume because, I think it's so important that we all, really kind of use those senses to connect. And this is so now you see, Candice, I'm offering a five senses mystery shopping. So,
Awesome.
you know,
Yes, talk about your business. Tell us a little bit about the Biz Shui and tell us what's all
mm,
included. Give us all the details.
mm. Yeah, so I mean, so basically it does start with assessing, assessing myself. How am I feeling today? How your employees are feeling today? When is the last time you've asked those real questions about the feelings? And so assessing how we are, assessing the environment, doing that kind of walking around, whether it's a corporate office or whether it's a retail shop, and using the five senses to actually not so much tick the box if all the lights are on or if they have their name badge, but how do they build rapport? How did you feel? What did you smell? And using those kind of questions to really kind of give some feedback to the customers, which is going to be very, very different from a normal mystery shop, which is probably more a little bit tick boxes. Did they do that, and did they, so kind of follow their journey mapping. So doing that, you kind of now understand where people are, and then you can start doing things. And of course, one of the things that, you probably do that as well to start with is that decluttering piece of things, right? We can't, add remedies or cures of feng shui and do feng shui if there's a mess everywhere. And that's one of the biggest things when people work from home. They may have clutter everywhere and they can't survive with that. So, we need to kind of teach them some really good tips and tools on how to do that decluttering piece. So then you can add the Feng Shui, you can, help them to change, move, add some beautiful pictures, connect, on those intentions and those visuals. And so that's kind of the first part of Bosq Shui, which, looks at the physical environment. And then we kind of look at the personal state of being, right? So, that inner Feng Shui, that inner state of being. And, so how we feel affect how we think, affect how we behave, right? The three of them works together. So we need to teach people, perhaps maybe have some anchors, maybe they have blocks, so maybe they need to move away from those blocks to be able to move forward. Maybe they need to have an inspiration vision board so they can connect, their emotions to it. Maybe they need some good habits, and creating some good habits for their behavior when they get up in the morning, when they go down at night, be grateful, those kind of things that really kind of work on that inner person. So that's the second part of Bosq Shui. And of course, the last part is the customer experience. When you've got your outer energy right, your inner energy right, you're going to feel good, you're going to communicate super well, you're going to be engaged in your team, and you're going to have people who really want to be here and really give that great service. And so then we can work on more of the business like, looking at the employees experience, looking at the journey mapping, looking at mystery shopping again, and developing some loyalty programs and those kind of things, and going a little bit deeper into the things that I used to do before. Now it comes almost at the end, because if you got the person right and the environment right, everything is going to get right at one point or another.
Awesome. So if anyone's
Yes.
interested in that, I will have all the contact information in the show notes that I include. So, and they'll know where to find you on social media. And yes, so that's amazing. That sounds like an amazing program for anybody who owns a
Thank you.
business. Yes. Anyone who's trying to, even working from home, I think working from home, or if you work for yourself, definitely you should get a hold of Claire so she can help you sway your business.
Do a bit of Shui moves, right?
Yes,
And share some
yes.
Shui loves.
For sure, for sure. So one thing I also wanted to add too is you kind of talk about, where people need to take action and create those habits. So I was going to also include that a lot of people, I think, try to do feng shui. Again, the mindset might not be there, or they don't really have a goal in mind. And I feel like feng shui definitely works better when you have a goal in mind, and it helps support the actions that you're taking. And so it's definitely, I don't think you'll probably see results if you just,
Turn on the
you
lights.
have that negative mindset. Yeah, you just put it up to the universe and you're like, I don't know what I want, but the universe will give me. So yeah, for sure, definitely helps boost businesses. It helps boost your actions, and it does help sometimes with those wealth boosts too. So
And you know what,
yeah.
what I love doing as well with clients is actually using their vision board and their intentions with the bagua.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your bagua, and then you write your intentions for each of the areas of your bagua. So you may
Mm.
have an intention for your prosperity corner. You may have an intention to be #1 on Amazon bestseller, and then you put something there on your fame and reputation. You may have an intention to meet the man of your life, and so you're going to put that intention in your love and area corner. So when you start actually using the bagua in the next level, and actually creating the intentions, visualizing it, connecting with it, really on that emotional level, it takes it to the next level. Absolutely. And because it's on the bagua, it's already in the right place, right? So all you need to do is kind of nurture those areas and really kind of be very clear of what you want. And with that being, I think I've always been like that. My Feng Shui practitioner master was always, Claire, you need to remove half of this, 3/4 of this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want everything. And so focusing, on what's important right now, what you want right now, and then you move forward, and so without being too yeah, I'm quite full on, I want to do everything, and actually you're learning that, one step at a time, it's better, and then you can move forward and one thing and another.
I love that idea. That's a really good idea.
Mm.
That's a really good idea. Um, I do think that a lot of people, I love it because I think a lot of people don't have clarity on what they want. A lot of people feel stuck in life. A lot of people feel like they need something to change, just like you said you did. But you took action and you changed that and you kind of knew where you were going. You eventually figured it out where you started doing things, you start figuring things out. And I think people really get stuck and they just don't know what to do sometimes. And I do think doing things like creating the vision boards or just having a goal in mind and just starting to do things, it really gets you out of that part of
Mm.
being unstuck in life. It really
Well,
does.
Candice, back in March last year, so when it all hit, I lost all my business in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I lost absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh no.
whew, it took me, it
Mm-hmm.
really knocked me out for two. And it took really got me, I was on the floor for
Mm-hmm.
several weeks. And I was in that hole, when you're in that spiral and suddenly you just spiral, things come down. And I was not even a spiral, it just went boom. And you're like, what's going on? What am I doing? Where am I going? And you're really in that element. And I feel very grateful that I have been able to use all those learnings that I've done, all of that mindfulness, all that emotional intelligence, realizing what was going on in myself, reframing things, having that positive kind of thinking and moving to that helped me move forward. And I think that's what's happening is when people are in those holes and those moments of really kind of anxiety, stress, they don't have the tools to actually come out of that hole.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're here for. And really, you need to ask for help and support because you can't do it on your own. And so don't be afraid to ask for support. Those are people are here to help. That's what I was so down because I couldn't help people. Suddenly no one wanted me. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
how, I can't help anyone. I felt completely useless. And so asking people to come and help you, it's not a shame. It's not, you need to be able to be there. And how people feel when they're helping you, they feel good, so they want to do more of it. And that's a really kind of a great analogy as well to think about, when you're an entrepreneur. And like you said, Candice, earlier, you're on your own, and I don't really want to ask anybody just in case they think I'm not coping, or I don't know about this or that. But actually, everybody wants to help. And you feel good when you help somebody else. So if you ask somebody else for help, they will feel good as well. So we need to be able to create that community where we are helping each other and we are here supporting each other, especially in those moments where everybody's, a lot of people are still working from home. They still, so learn, watch those podcasts, listen to, watch videos, listen to those things who are going to be helping you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know what to do, ask, because
Yes.
that's what we're here for.
Oh, I agree. I'll just kind of close on this. We in Feng Shui, there's a concept of the nobleman, which is just a helpful person. Sometimes it's called a helpful person. But I know some years come along where we are able to help and we're able to give, but sometimes we also need the help. Sometimes it's our turn to be the nobleman, sometimes it's our turn to receive from a nobleman. So, yeah. So I agree with that. I thank you for sharing about your business stuff. My husband's business last year was greatly affected also, and we've had a super hard time, and it's hard to talk about, and it's hard to kind of admit, and it is hard to feel good after you've worked so hard on something and you feel like it's just not working anymore. So thank you for sharing that. I agree. I agree. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super
And
hard.
but you know what, if I can do it, anybody else can do it. And so it's important that we do realize that, and it's important that we do continue to share those videos and those interviews that you're doing, because this is how we can people can listen to it and actually think, wow, okay, so that's happened to her. So,
Yeah.
And she's come out of it. So can I,
Yeah.
and so, and so we do need to be able to do those things to really kind of help people. So reach out at any time. That's what, definitely, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for people to know they're not alone. They're not alone. I mean, we saw so many businesses close last year, especially locally. I saw restaurants especially were affected, shops, barber shops. I mean, just tons of retail available, you know, commercially with no businesses in them because so many businesses failed last year. And so, yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share?
Well, there's one quote that's really kind of been hitting me over the last few weeks. And, again, when you're kind of thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And
Mhm.
I saw this quote from Gandhi, and it says, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Mm.
And that really kind of resonated with me. And, yes, we need to be that change, and we need to be there. Not everybody will understand or will get what you're doing, but people will do it. They will, you have to be out there because people need you. And so, be that change, and be out there in the world, be that beautiful shiny person that you can be.
And so if anyone needs to get a hold of you, if they need to do some biz shui, if they just need some insight, definitely get a hold of Claire. All of her information will be available in the notes I'm putting up with the show. So thank you so much, Claire, for being here. And I look forward to our next talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You get a bit of an imposter syndrome, don't you? And thinking, can I really do that?
Yeah.
And then you realize you can, and then you're really in the flow, and it's like whoosh, and that's really super, super amazing when things start moving magically.
But it really does hit you like, am I? I mean, am I doing like, when you hear the criticism or you hear those things, you do start having that. It's almost like that imposter syndrome. You start feeling like, oh no, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I'm going to receive criticism, or how are people going to feel, especially when you talk about a more holistic approach to a business. You definitely have to um, talk about it in a way that people will understand, not
So you need to, even if it's in a bedroom, creating a space and an environment for for your desk, where you're going to feel safe, where you're going to work and feel good, and really kind of be more productive, because your body doesn't have to always kind of protect you. And that's what our body does, is like always trying to, not get you killed. So, if we can be in a position where we don't have to do that, we can do other things which are a lot more productive.
I'm right now taking some classes from a master, and I believe he's in Malaysia. I can't remember if he's Malaysia or Singapore, but he is very big on doing feng shui activations for wealth, and tapping into those wealth. And people have asked him like, "Why are you so focused on money?" And he's like, "Right now, that's what people need, especially in different countries where they're still locked down. I know Australia is like super, and I think Malaysia too, they're really still in that lockdown mode. Their numbers are still high. They're, under those movement control. They can't travel, and a lot of them still are either not working from home. And that's what people need right now. It's not that there's a focus on, money as, something that's, I guess something that's worshipped, or something that's, the answer for everything. But I mean, money makes the world go round, and we definitely need that sometimes. Sometimes we have to focus on, paying our bills and stuff like that. So I personally think that, if we can help somebody with one of their biggest concerns, then that's amazing. Be sure to support today's guest by following the link in the show notes. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the little notification so you can be alerted when new videos come out. If you'd like to learn more about Feng Shui and Chinese metaphysics, visit learnfengshui.com.